happened, fully and completely, and there's a lot of disagreement. But the Inquisition begins now with a guy named Dominic Guzman, who's called St. Dominic, at about 1207 A.D., and there were a series of theological debates that were going on between these non-Catholic believers and the Catholic priesthood. And they had debates, like public debates in their towns and so on, in the town of Albi in France. And there were sharp disagreements, but the one thing that the Albigenses were known for was that they paid strict attention to the Bible. They just believed what the Bible said, whereas the Catholic priesthood would come in with the traditions and the official declarations of the Holy See of Rome and so on, and the popes and whatnot. And so in the final debate, Dominic, it was said, he lost the debate, or so it said, and he became so enraged that he swore slavery and death against the Albigenses. And then he goes back to Rome, meets with Pope Innocent III and Simon de Montfort, and that's the beginning of the Inquisition. Okay,
let's walk through your film, A Lamp in the Dark, again, available at Infowars.com, and the type of persecution that went on. We'll be right back. I'm Alex Jones. This is the GCN Radio Network.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
What's your home worth? How can you compare local real estate agents? And how do you get MLS listings for the entire country? If you're thinking of buying a home to take advantage of the tax credit or selling your house, you first need to see an incredible website called HomeGain.com. HomeGain.com will help you find a realtor to buy or sell a home. It's so easy, and best of all, it's free. At HomeGain.com, you can compare realtors anonymously, receive customized proposals, see consumer reviews, then select the best realtor for you. Go to HomeGain.com and get an instant home value estimate, view comparable homes, and check out street views. HomeGain.com has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and contains a wealth of information, like their home improvement tool that helps you determine which home improvements to make to increase your home's value. See the top 12 home improvements right now at HomeGain.com. That's HomeGain.com. Look for Max, the orange HomeGain gorilla, to help you find a realtor or with any other real estate needs you might have at HomeGain.com, your real estate connection.
Hi, Alex has been encouraging you to get food. Well, here's an unbelievable chance for you to jumpstart your food savings plan from eFoodsDirect.com. Anyone placing food orders on the large volume production run scheduled for the week of March 22nd can get a lot of food for very little cost. For example, with each pre-production order of 3 7-day responders, they'll ship a 4th week of food free. That's buy 3, get 1 free. They'll take orders from now until March 22nd. The following week, they'll produce huge runs of the pre-ordered food, passing the savings to you in this buy 3, get 1 free program. Folks, this is the best chance to stock up you'll ever see. Another example, buy 9 months worth of food and get 3 months free. You've got to go to eFoodsDirect.com/Alex for the food buy of a lifetime. Or call 800-409-5633. Go to eFoodsDirect.com/Alex or 800-409-5633.
Now, I want to be clear. The globalists use balkanization to play us off against each other. So I don't get up on my radio show and bash Mormons, Seventh-day Adventists, Catholics, Protestants, my family on both sides were Protestant activists that came into Texas. My mother's side, the Ayers family that raised Colonel Travis's son, they, of course, brought in Bibles in, 1825, in a famous case, into Galveston. And they actually had the Jesuit group ran them out of town and tried to burn their wagons full of Protestant Bibles. And I know that big government, big churches, big state-run religion has always been a tool of oppression. Separately, I've had groups connected to the Israeli lobby over the years using bizarre psychology. If we have a Pat Buchanan on who's Catholic, I must work for the secret Catholic takeover, or any other guest. I know a lot of Catholics. They're great, hardworking, good people that are anti-abortion. And I know a lot of conservative Catholics that criticize the Pope's calling for New World Order. I'm not here to get people fighting with each other, but I have studied quite a bit of history, and we know there was a lot of really bad stuff throughout the Dark Ages and Middle Ages and through that happened. I know in the Netherlands and other places, once the Protestants got in control, they did a lot of the persecution back to Catholics. Now you look at the modern day, this ecumenical merging the religions, not just different groups of Christians together, this call for world government. This is happening from the Protestants. It's happening from the Catholics. But the Catholic Church is at the center of the call for a new world order, a global government in their own documents with the euro. And so the establishment wants to play people off against each other. And, I don't have a religious broadcast. I have a news and history show, and I watched Lamp in the Dark before we carried it when they asked us to carry it, and I found it to be very accurate from my research, so we carry it. At the same time, though, I have seen kind of the Christian Zionist arm that's also illuminist, saying we've got to have the end of the world, we've got to support Israel no matter what, and then they always put out an anti-Catholic view and claim the Catholic Church wants to run Jerusalem and do all this stuff. I mean, it's very sophisticated, and I've been studying it and trying to understand it. And I think that Chris Pinto with A Lamp in the Dark has really done a good job of breaking this down. But, I mean, going back to some of the issues, though, that I just raised here, that's why I believe in what our founding fathers did, saying freedom of religion. That's not what the UN and others are calling for. They're saying, no, a one-world religion where you can be whatever religion you want, but you can't criticize any other religion. Chris Pinto.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's becoming the new Inquisition. There's that case over in England of the Christian couple who witnessed to a Muslim woman, and the Muslim woman talked about her faith, and the Christians talked about their faith. But now the Muslim woman felt like she was being oppressed because the Christians were criticizing Islam. And then they ended up being, suffering a certain amount of persecution over there in England.
They're trying to make it illegal in Canada to read certain Bible verses. And there's all these calls for censorship that are going on. But once you censor one group, you censor everybody. But getting up into the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages, when we start seeing the real persecution.
Right. It really began over the reading of the Bible and the preaching of what's written in the Bible. That began the Inquisition. A lot of people don't know that. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to give the history in Lamp. But that's what led to two things. One, really it was the establishment of the first police state. If you read some historians, that's what they'll say, that the Inquisition, where you developed a system of informants, you developed a police system that was intercontinental. There were no boundaries for the Inquisition. They could go to any country in Europe and hold people accountable. They were kind of like Interpol or the feds. They could cross any border, and that's when they began to outlaw the Bible, and that's why they outlawed the Bible. The Bible became a forbidden book, as it's called in one of the documentaries.
And then we saw things like when they wanted to build the new Vatican building, indulgences, get your family out of purgatory, pay all this gold. And similarly, we see the UN and the EU selling, and Al Gore admits it, a global religion of Gaia where they go out and persecute everyone and have a new Inquisition.
I think it's the same spirit, the same principles involved ultimately, and it's it's been going on for centuries and centuries and centuries, and as we show it in our film, we show the Bible really and the Word of God and those who believe it as the center of controversy and the oppression that came against them to forbid anyone from having another opinion. And